Right, just putting the pots in this, what is it? It's a PR35 and a different style chassis, custom build for a very good customer of mine. So I'm just getting the pots in. So whilst we're doing that, I figured we'd have a quick chat because we've got a couple of things which I've talked about on the channel before and had lots of comments from you guys, but I didn't really come back and address them. The first one was, do you remember I said I was thinking about maybe closing the order books or stopping taking on certain repairs? Well, I've had a good think about it and I've read all your comments and I've had a good look about what I need to do. And obviously I can't close the order books on the business. Not that it would be suicide, but I don't really have a proper reason for it other than it feels wrong. So I don't think I'm going to do that. What I am going to do, however, is I am going to stop taking on B100K. I am going to stop taking on the really big restoration jobs that come in. It's not fair on me. It's not fair on the customers who are waiting that long to get some of those, get those jobs done, because they are open-ended. I can't say, oh, I can do that full restoration in X amount of time. There's always hurdles and things that you come across. I've also got amp builds that I need to do, and with the restorations, they are a can of worms, and you just end up they're difficult to quote on, they're difficult to estimate on, because until you get into the nit and gritty, yeah, it's difficult to really know what's what and what's actually going to be involved and any extra work that falls on top or that's required. While you're in there, jobs always pop up. I need a 10k. Hey, 10k. And so I think I'm going to start turning a lot, because I do get a lot of requests for them, people who want a full restoration on an old amp, granddad's old amp, and I'm specifically talking about restorations here, not resurrections, which is just, bringing something back to life, but not necessarily doing loads of work on them, just getting them to a point where you could take them out and gig them again. But the full restorations, it's not going to quite work out. I just don't have the time. On top of everything else that I'm doing here, I can't turn away a lot of the. One of these is going to be right. I can't turn away. What am I trying to say? Most of the general service and repair work. The revalves, the basic servicing, stuff like that. It's bread and butter money to the business. So I need to carry on with, offering that, and and looking after the work, looking after the customers who are local to me, who come to me, one, because they like bringing their stuff here and they trust me, but also I'm their only option. So if you get a customer that a valve goes bang or needs a speaker swap or whatever it is, I can't turn that work away. It's too valuable to the business, both financially and in terms of reputation. But I can't say that to that level of confidence about the big restoration jobs that come in. So I am missing a pot here. I am missing a B250K. I've got one somewhere. Hold on. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to carry on. Obviously, I'm going to carry on taking orders and building guitar amps. That's what I do. That's what I love. It's the core of the business. It's why I get out of bed every morning, because I absolutely love it. The general service and repair work can carry on, but the big restorations and some of the more complex and tricky repair jobs, certain brands, I'll turn away as well. As a little side note, someone said, I mentioned a couple of times that I won't take on carving stuff, and wanted to know why. It stems down to one amp that came in a long time ago now, a very long time, and it had a thermal runaway issue, a deeply embedded fault in that PCB, and there was no manufacturer support because Carvin had stopped building amps at that point. You couldn't get parts. This thing couldn't be fixed without massive reverse engineering to work out exactly what's going on and to redesign part of it. And it was one of the most frustrating scenarios because, you know, 12 months previously when you could get parts and it could have been sorted, but this amp couldn't be, and effectively we had to scrap the amp. Customer was disappointed. I was disappointed. I really felt for the guy, but it's one of those scenarios where it's not economical to fix the product. You couldn't fix the product even if you wanted to, and you just had to throw away this thing. And, you know, I hate filling landfill with stuff, but what else are you going to do, right? B250K, that's what I said, wasn't it? So yeah, and there's a lot of brands out there like that. That's an A250K. That's an A10K. Where sometimes it's just not worth repairing or getting involved. So, you know, when you get the phone call, you just have to turn this stuff away. Oh, come on. I can't be out of linear 250Ks. Oh no, because I put it in the wrong position. So yeah, that's, you know, and some of the modern Mezbugis now, again, not worth it. Same with some of the Ampegs. You know, unless you're an authorised repair centre, which I'm not, I just won't touch them. So yeah, that's that. That was what I was going to talk about. Yeah, was those. The other thing that we were going to talk about was, bear with me, it's up here somewhere. Yeah, I remember. It was the other thing we want to talk about was the. Do you remember I said I had some people have moaned about the length of the videos, and my videos I always used to aim for them to be about half an hour long, and they started to get longer and longer, and now I try and keep them no longer than an hour. But some people complain about that. They're too long. They don't really understand how thumbnails work, and that in order to get you to click on the video, I have to do a bit of a clickbaity title. That's not my preference. That's just the way YouTube and the algorithm works. That if I want people to see who I am in the business and what I get up to, and to advertise my business, which is the whole point of the YouTube channel, you have to you have to play the game a little bit. Some people clearly don't understand that, and they moan and they complain. And they say, you know, I had one this week saying, you know, he had to watch 15 minutes of twaddle to get to the point of the video. I was like, no, that's not the way my videos are. It's all a vlog, and I just pick something that's interesting within the video as the thumbnail and title in an attempt to get people to click on it so you find out who I am and what I'm about. But, you know, some people don't get that, and they complain. My decision on the whole thing is just to carry on the way I've been. If I've got enough stuff to show you and I can get it all into, I mean, I'm always going to have roughly a 1 hour time limit on it. I don't want to go over that because then it is excessive, even I'll admit that. But if I can get stuff in all within roughly up to an hour, the Tuesday videos or Wednesday videos, sorry, the Q&A ones are usually longer anyway because I do these long rambling talks and Q&A answers and stuff like that. Sunday's videos generally end up a little bit shorter unless I've got something really interesting to show you, and you know, I like to go into a bit of detail sometimes. That one isn't straight, so yeah, I'm going to carry on the way I've been, and if you don't like it, you don't have to click on the video, you don't have to watch it, it's not compulsory. You can also watch in speed up mode, so you can put it on 1.5 times or 2 times mode if you want to get through the video quicker. Whatever works for you. I'm just really grateful that people do tune in and watch me waffle on every week about guitar amps and life in general. And, you know, I also like to include a bit of bonus footage every now and again of stuff that's outside of the guitar amp world. So, you know, often it's what I get up to when I'm not in the workshop, or other technical bits and pieces, usually car stuff, because, you know, that's what I'm into. But it is what it is. And, you know, if you enjoy it, great. If you don't, find something else to watch. You know, that's the beauty of YouTube. There's always something for you. And if you don't like what you found, move on to the next video. So yeah, that's what we're doing. We're going to carry on as we are in terms of the content. But personally, and I was thinking about this the other day, one of the reasons I like the long format stuff, or the longer format stuff, is one that we can go into the level of detail that I feel is right. So I don't feel like I'm skipping over a lot of stuff, but also I'm not going too in depth and too nerdy and too, you know, dragging stuff out for the sake of dragging stuff out. I feel it's naturally the pace that I work at. And most of you guys, I'd say 95% of you, seem to like that and enjoy that. So that's what we're going to stick with. You'll always get some outsiders, but what can you do? Eh? Right, are they all in? Do they look good from the front? Yeah, I think so. So they're in. What else do we need to do? Oh, we need to check clearance. Hold on. Ba-da-ba-da. So we'll go. I actually made some mistakes on some chassis. Thankfully, easily fixed mistakes. But the hole size for these Fender style dual lights is 11/16, and I kept drilling them out to 9/16, and then having to go back in and enlarge them. And I hate having to do stuff like that, because it's, once you've deburred everything, cleaned everything up, having to go back in and do it is it's just annoying. It's just annoying more than anything else. I'm currently being defeated by this. Here we go. We're going. So with that on there, like that, where that's going to sit. Can you see? You see the clearance there? I know it's a wide angle, but bear with me. A mock-up cupcake knob. Sit that on there. I've got another one over here. Oh yeah, I've got loads. I'm just making sure that my finger spacing is correct. So when the user's adjusting the knob, you can get in there and turn them without accidentally catching the other one and turning it as well. They look all right, don't they? Fine. Winner. I can't remember what spacing I did on this. They are. It will be imperial. Normally an inch and a half I do, I think. Or was it inch and a quarter? Inch and a quarter. Yeah, they're fine. Good. Right. Sorry, I'm waffling again. So that spacing is good, so that can come back out. And then, what was the other thing on this? Oh yeah, I just need to start wiring it up. So anyway, that's a bit of a long rant. Sorry. But hopefully we've covered a few things. Also, I've had I remember now. I've had quite a few rude and aggressive messages lately. Now, usually I monitor those. Just keep an eye on them. Delete ones that are really rude, you know, the trolls and the people who just like to spout abuse on the internet. But I've had some really funny ones lately, and I think what we're going to do is next time I do a bit of a special, we'll read them all out. I think that'd be quite funny. Right, cracking on. Also, before I forget, this will make you laugh. I've had a customer who is a really good customer, and he won't mind me saying this, but he he's not impatient, but he's excited to get his new amp build. And I completed it this week. Called him to say it's ready. Do you want to come get it before I go on holiday? And he can't come. He's too busy. He's got other stuff on. I thought you were desperate for it. It's fine. Honestly, it's the way it is, and I can forgive him because I get on really well with him. He's a good customer of mine. He hasn't done it on purpose. He's not being awkward. It's just, you know, when you think, oh, he really wants this. I'll work really hard to make sure he can have it. Oh yeah, sorry mate. I'm just I can't get to you this week. We'll have to wait until you come back. Ah, yeah. What do you do, eh? Right. She's going in for surgery. So as you remember, the car won at Anglesey last weekend, and it's time for it to have a new gearbox. The gearbox is in the car, sometimes struggles to go into fifth and reverse. They're on the same selector shaft, and it's the selector clutch which is knackered. So as you guys know, I do have a spare box, and when I picked up cheap, well, that's now been fully overhauled, as in all new seals and bits and pieces, all that kind of stuff. So that's going to be swapped into the car. Whilst the box is off, you may as well do some while you're in there jobs. So new OEM clutch kit, new clutch slave. Got to take the flywheel off and do the rear-main seal. New selector fork as well, genuine Mazda. So that's all of that. God, I'm making a right mess of that box. Ugh. And then also we've got, if the box is coming off, we'll stick another starter motor on it. Sometimes the starter on the car, when it's really hot, it doesn't work. So we're going to put a new starter on it, or just a spare starter, and then new fluid in the box as well. So it's going in. It's going into a friend of mine who's the other side of Northampton, up in Corby, near the old Rockingham Raceway, actually. He is going to do the swap for me whilst I'm on holiday. So when I get back, it should all be done. But yeah, the car hasn't been off the trailer since Anglesey. God, I mean, these tyres were new at the start of the season, and they're already worn at the edge there. What are the rears like? Oh yeah, bold. Anglesey is such a tyre killer. It's always the outer edge on the rear. Come around and check this side. Oh, that side's a bit better. To be fair, they'll still go on the front. Now I've got 4 degrees of camber on the front. What's this front like? See, there's loads on the inside, look. It's just always the outside edges. We'll rotate them around, we'll get some more races out of them. But yeah, that's it. So we're going to run the car up this afternoon. Drop everything up there. He's going to do the gearbox swap for me. Yeah, we'll pick it up next week. And then that's the car ready for round 4 at the beginning of August at Snetterton.